All right, so how you doing? We here with Warrior Style Films. We got Shanika right here. She's an actor. She's a model. She does hair and she does teaching. We go art teaching. Tell us, how'd you start? Like, how'd you get into this?
Yes. Well, I would say when I was a youth, I am growing up in Kingston. You know, me and my brother them, we always had dreams. You know, we always wanted to live a better life. You know, we wanted to have a better life for us and our family. So we had a lot of dreams and we thought about it, and, you know, just things we did together. We played and acts, and we just did a lot of things, and we just said that, you know, we want to do this when we get older. We want to make it big. We said, you know what, this is going to be good for us. Let's become actors. So that's what we did. Me and my brother, we like to act different things. My brother, he likes to write, you know, so he was writing the films and things that we used to act like, you know, and the shows and different things like we grew up, you know, and different movies that we liked and shows that we liked. You know, my brother used to write it and we used to just act it out. So this is just something I always wanted to do when I was younger. And, you know, I said, let me just go for it. And here I am, you know.
All right, any projects that you in that like you want to tell us about?
Well, I am working on some projects, yes. I am playing Miss Roots here in Atlanta's Ugly TV show, but I'm also going to be acting in another great film as well. And I'm going to be more so like a kind of like, it's more like a case type of vibes, you know, like a detective and caseworker and things like that. So it's a really good film, you know, things that I can relate to in my life and my childhood and things like that. So, you know, yes.
All right, and you say you do hair and you're an art teacher. How do you like juggle that and acting and modeling? How do you incorporate all that into one, or do you like kind of like get off of work, do some hair, then if you get a gig, you know, you book it for the next day or the two, or how does that go?
Yes, actually, you're not the first person that asked me that. A lot of people wonder, how do I do it? Because I do a lot of things. Obviously, I'm in a lot of different fields. I wear a lot of hats, you know. And pretty much, you know, I have a 9 to 5 as well, so I'm working full time, and then I still want to be able to live my dreams, so I still do my acting, I still do my modeling. You know, I have clients that book me to do their hair, I have clients that book me to do their makeup, so I just try to work it out the best way I can, you know, put my schedule and try to balance it the best way I can, because I'm just one woman, you know, and I work by myself. You know, everything I do by myself, you know. I don't have like a big team like everybody, you know. I'm just one individual. So, you know, a client might book me, and, you know, I just go ahead and do their hair, you know.
All right, quick question. You say you do hair. I see you got the locks. Can you do a Dominican flip? I might need to get mine pressed out. You know what I'm saying? So just so I can put the ism on them just a little bit.
Yes, you know, I specialize in locks and natural hair and braids, but, you know, I do other styles as well. I do crochets, you know, anything to represent us as beautiful women that we are and to embrace our queen and royalty.
So Dominican flips out the question, huh? I got my own flat iron. I don't play no games.
Maybe back in the day, because, you know, I did do relaxers back in the day and color and all that great stuff.
No relaxer. You know what I'm saying? Just straighten it out. You know what I'm saying? Have me, you know what I'm saying, press dive fried to the side. You know what I mean?
We can hook you up, you know.
All right, cool. Anything you want to, anybody you want to shout out, or any projects you have upcoming before we get out of here?
Yes, I want to, first and most importantly, I want to give a shout out to the good man above. Without him, my gosh, I can't even begin. He has brought me through a lot in my life. So big up him always, you know. And my family, my friends, yes.
All right, and what's your Instagram handles if you got them? Any handles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Just drop them down, let us know. What it.
Yes. On Instagram, you can follow me at Shanika the Stylist and also at The Queen Purpose. And also, if you're interested, I also do make handmade jewelry. You know, I'm an artist as well, so I paint and I teach art to the youths. So you can also follow me on Instagram at African Goddess Jewelry.
All right, cool. All right, we out of here. This is Shanika. She dropped her handles, and also I'm gonna hit you up. This is Warrior Style Films. Yeah, we definitely gonna follow up with you because I do actually look for talent here, and I'm gonna get that Dominican flip, like $50. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, we got you. I'll hook you up.
All right, cool. We out, y'all. Yo, so we back up in here. This is Warrior Style Films with my man. We go by Will or Davis. It's my man Will, and he's been in a few of my works. Well, at least one of them. I think. Has it been a few? Yeah, been two. Played a cop and played
Played the DJ.
Played a DJ. Tell us, well, how was your experience on that?
Well, outside the fact that I got killed, it was fun. It was fun. I had a blast doing that.
Right.
Being a DJ, an opinionated DJ at that kind of pissed off a listener, but it was all good though. I had fun.
Okay, and what other works that you got in the works? I haven't seen you in a few months. Probably what it's been, good 6 months.
Yeah.
And tell us what you got in the works or what you've been working on.
Just finished. We got a movie coming out this summer called The Final Wind, where I play a very bad pastor that stole $30,000 from the church.
So normal shit.
Yeah. And we just we're in the finishing process of a movie called A Stash and a Rivalry, where I play a cop. And actually, after working with some of y'all, I'm actually in the process of filming my own short film based off of one of my songs called The Final Call, or not, Ain't My Call.
Alright, cool. So we gonna have to collab. I got a short feature that I'm working on for the summer. I'll probably have to get up with you, probably July or June. You let me know.
I'm ready. Whenever you call, I'm ready. I love working with people that have already worked for it. And I got people that'll be interested in working with you too, so we can do this.
Alright, cool. Alright, so I skipped over this, the prelude questions. Like, what got you into doing this?
Curiosity. Acting wasn't on my itinerary. I just kind of fell into it and been doing it ever since.
Okay, so like cheating on your housewife, that type, falling into it?
Nah, actually I had an ex-girlfriend that she was an actress, but she didn't want to follow the rules of acting. I just got into it to find out what was going on and start talking to actors and find out what the process was and just follow the process. And met a lot of people, met you.
That's what's up. I forgot where I met you at.
Table read, you were doing at the library.
I knew you from online, but where the hell did I meet you?
Face to face was at that table read.
Okay, yeah, that's right. All right, and I don't know, I already asked you upcoming projects. What's your handles? You want to shoot it out to the people? Any shout outs?
I want to shout out to my wife, soon to be, Miss Tamika Turner. She's also in The Final End, and she's also in A Stash and a Rivalry, and she also did Puff Dick.
Was it
1,000 bottles of baby oil. And you can find me on Instagram at the actor Willie D.
Alright, cool. Well, that concludes our interview. If y'all want to check him out, he dropped his handles. Y'all look for him. We're going to have this up on Monday. Make sure you tag me. I'm going to tag you. And y'all look for more exclusive work from my man Will right here. Alright, we out.
Yo, we gotta lock in.
So we're back up in here. It's Warrior Style Films. We're going to interview my man's son. He does travel agencies, he's an actor.
Oh, wow.
And I'm
I feel
out. Sorry about that.
something
I'm
here.
freaking terrible.
Okay.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. Like, what got you into modeling and acting and travel agency?
That's a good question. I can tell you about the acting. So, since a little boy, I grew up on black films. I always had interest of always wanted to go to movie theaters. If it was a Vivica A. Fox movie in theaters, or Morris Chestnut, or Lorenz Tate, or a Neil Long movie as in theaters, including like Lisa Ray, I grew up on those people. And each time a movie was in theater, I'm like, oh, I need to go see it. Even if I was a little younger, I was like, yeah, so it inspired me.
Okay, so tell us about your modeling. Like, what do you model? Like clothing? Because a lot of people do different types of modeling.
Well, the modeling that I've done was one-way modeling. I do like in the underground modeling. That was something that I've been consistent with since I was 19. With underground, and I was doing it back. Oh my man! Back to back before the pandemic happened. Because I'm from Jersey, and I used to go in New York, walking the and you know, me walking on the one way, this is something that's special love.
All right. So you said before the pandemic, exactly like how many years?
I started it since I was 19, back in 2009. I'm 36 now. But I had a gap in between. I got back into it in 2017, all the way up to 2020 when the pandemic happened.
Okay. So we're doing modeling, like is it like blazers, slacks? Is it like just the whole, or is it Balenciaga like modeling? Like tell us about that.
No, I wish, but we'll be there soon. We're gonna make that happen, but to be honestly, I would say it's more like urban wear, like local designers.
So you're not wearing those. Please tell me you're not gonna do no Balenciaga and wearing trash bags, no shit like that, right?
No, this one I'm wearing right now is fashionable.
Yeah, that shit's pretty fly.
Thank you.
Was it say Saint 89 or some people? All right. So tell us any upcoming projects that you may have or things you've done recently.
Now with the acting, I have done some projects. I'm more involved with like the LGBTQ projects. I have done one that hasn't been out yet, but it's pitching out soon. It's called
I'll let you work it out. Go ahead.
Anonymous.
Anonymous. What is that word like about? Like the name Anonymous. That's not. I know it means like to be unknown. And on the internet, somewhere on Twitter, it's like the mysterious group that steals and hacks information. Exactly what type of clothing do they do? You said urban wear.
For like designers that I've worked in the past.
Not the ones you just did, anonymous. Like
no, it's an upcoming project, filming project.
That's a film project.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us maybe like an overview? Not tell us the meat and potatoes of it, but the overview of like what's it about.
Basically, it's more so about the life of the discreet parties that takes place in the LGBTQ community.
You say discreet
Party.
Diddy parties? Like
No, not Diddy parties, but like very discreet parties, like private.
so like high class, upper class,
No.
doing dirty deeds, name famous people.
Somewhat. I can't give too much, but I want to say we're gonna leave it at discreet for right now.
Alright, cool. Before we end this, any shout outs you want to give? You want to throw out some handles, let the people know where they can reach you, check out some of your projects?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, which is I'm gonna spell out my Instagram handle. HASAANS, because sometimes it can be tricky, so that's why I spell it out like that. It's really stated as Hassan's, but the S at the end stands for my last name. And be on the lookout. Yes, I am a travel agent. Right now, I do have a deal that's taking place where I'm charging $26 for a travel cruise. So yeah, I'm making big moves in the entrepreneurial world soon. So I'm really excited.
Cool. Well, that was Hassan. Y'all can check him out. See some of his projects. He just spelled it out for y'all, like literally. So y'all tune in. Make sure you check him out. See all of his projects, all his works. We're gonna follow him. We're gonna throw his handles down at the bottom. We're gonna follow you, right?
Yes.
Alright, cool. So I'll put his handles down. Y'all follow him. Y'all follow me. Check this out. This interview will be aired on my Instagram page. And we out.
And wanted to do something right. Like, you know, because I'm so used to getting in trouble all the time. I'm that bad kid that got a whipping all the time. And I had to get a whipping in life, too. You know what I mean? That showed me that, boy, you ain't that bad. Hey, look, you need to calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's what made me want to jump into the music business, in the acting business, because I want to do something right. I like the camera. I like being on TV. I've been liking taking pictures and all that. I love it. That's what I like to do.
All right. And tell us again, like, how long you been doing this?
Music since I was a kid, for real, and acting. I give it like 4 years.
4 years. All right. And how were those experiences like on set, coming in, reciting lines? Like, how do you draw that emotion? Do you take the same emotion from the community and then just convey that on film, or do you just go in there and just kind of like make a separation of the two?
I had to make a separation of the two because, you know, it's a time for everything. It's business is business. But I do use what I know, like, from the streets to bring into my business to make it better, to make it, you know what I mean? Because I got to use that shit because that's what I know. And it make it better.
Okay. And quick question, like, this doing film, since I've been doing it, it be a whole bunch of, like, even so more in the streets. Like, I did my dirt, you know what I'm saying, dabbling in pharmaceuticals, and I noticed you get a little bit of attention from the ladies. Not that I use it as a cane, not a crutch, but I noticed doing this, whenever I pull out the camera, there they go. So how do you like deal with that? Like,
that ain't easy because I got a baby mom. You know, I got a couple baby mom. I got 3 of them, but the one that I'm, you know, with right now, she don't like all that fucking attention and shit. But I ain't got nothing wrong with attention. So, yeah, so I had to, you know, keep that shit in the middle. You know what I mean? Because if she see too much, she gonna feel like I'm flirting. So, it ain't easy to deal with. Trust me.
let's say with this, and I ain't gonna say if, right? Because if you keep doing what you're doing, like my pop said, you're gonna get what you keep getting, right? So you keep doing this, eventually, don't get me wrong, women is women. But in this industry, like I've noticed, like any other industry, they come out the woodworks, they look even more good. And I ain't really pulled none that was less than the dimes and fines, right? So I've noticed doing this, you got women that even when you was doing a little good in the streets, right? They was high class ghetto chicks, but they was fine. And this, you got a different arena of women. Like, is it something you think you could deal with?
Yeah, I just had to, you know how to, you know, just, hey, know that I got something going on and whatever they got going on, that ain't really my business, you know what I mean? But it's just about self-control, that's all.
So he on the get money, fuck bitches. And when we say that, that means get money, disregard women.
I love the women, man. I ain't saying fuck, because I love the, man, women run the world. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hold on, I gotta stop you. They gotta take it from us. They don't run it yet.
We built it, but they kind of run it.
Why they ain't got a female president?
Because we don't want to give it to them. I'm just being real.
Now let me stop, Lay.
We don't want to give it to them.
Hold on, if you run something nobody gotta give you, now you take it.
We built it.
Now let me stop, because they gonna think I'm misogynistic. Yeah, I love y'all, but I'm gonna keep it 100. Y'all don't run shit but your mouth and shoes.
They keep it going then. I'm gonna try to tone it down a little bit. I try to give y'all some props. But yeah, y'all keep the world going. Because without y'all, you know, we probably wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be the same.
I agree. Look, on some real shit, considering who we got as a president, if we had a female president, I think it'd be a lot more peaceful, because this dude is a meathead and he gonna get us bombed. I think women, I will agree with my man, like they operated a little bit more tactfully, diplomatically. We out here like barbarians with cavemen with clubs. And let me not say we, the white man. I ain't even gonna edit that, because Obama was very elegant. But I will agree with him. I think that y'all a little bit more tactful. It could run it, and I'm open to vote for like a female president. I ain't gonna hold you. But back to the get back. So you faithful, committed, ain't gonna let these hookers get in the way. What you and your baby mama got going on. You just here to get money, disregard the hoochies, right?
Get up out of it, man. Get the money, take care of the family. Get up out of it, man. Make sure these kids straight. That's it.
Cool. And one more time before we leave, you know what I'm saying? Shout out your handles, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you on, kicking your stuff, your music, YouTube, wherever you at, whatever platform, let the people know.
Man, all my music on Spotify, Apple Music. Just put in Boo Gang. You gonna see my face on some of my covers, or you might not see my face on some of my covers. You hear my voice, you gonna know that's me. Facebook, I'm up on the Cutthroat La Familia. That's my gang. Instagram, I got one Boo Gang that going up, and I got the Boo Gang _6. If you want to see some real life shit, that's where I'm at on Boo Gang _6. But yeah, I'm on all platforms. Pull me up, man.
This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. It was all a